This is my mom, ANTHE FILLOS. She was born in 1918, almost 100 years ago, in Sioux City, Iowa. She ended up getting AFib, and that changed her whole life.
She went to the emergency room because she wasn't well and wanted to come home. She did not want to stay there.
I've had it.
Up until just a little short period ago, she could beat us in games. She remembered, had a better memory than we did. But that has since changed somewhat now.
When Mom signed on, it was just hospice, and that name alone, we weren't ready for that. We hesitated because of the name, we did. Once we were introduced to it, and we realized that she could get a care at home that would help us, we went right with it.
Most people are very afraid of hospice, but once they have us in their home and they can see how much their life has improved while the team has come into their home, and they're always saying, why didn't I do this sooner?
Somebody comes every day, an aide to help her. Every afternoon helps her with lunch, bathes her. A nurse comes twice a week to check her vital signs. A volunteer comes that plays games with her. She really likes that.
They're very good with us.
They've been very helpful, and
us.
they've made a big difference in her life.
Patients and family members especially feel a great sense of calmness when they come here. I lost my mom to cancer 24 years ago. I was researching what kind of resources would be available to me to help me and my sister through the process. She died before we could tap into anything, but it made me realize that community supports like this are so important.
If you look at the whole picture of everything that we do to meet people's bereavement needs, the individual counseling, the groups and workshops, educational programs, I mean, we touch several thousand people a year.
It starts with the phone call from the referral source, which can be a hospital, nursing home, visiting nurse agency, doctor's office, the patient or the patient's family. In order for us to sign a patient on hospice services, they would have a prognosis of 6 months or less.
Well, in the hospital, as you know, there's machines, there's beeping, there's a lot of people going in and out of patients' room. Here, the patients are comfortable. We can establish that relationship that is very different from the hospital. We get to know them. We want our patients to feel like they're family when they are in this journey towards end of life.
Hospice is a team approach, and it's there for patients for their quality of life and for their comfort measures. And what it includes is our nursing visits, aides for personal care, social workers and chaplains for emotional and spiritual support.
The most important thing that a chaplain does is to simply be present, and they minister to people of all faiths and they minister to people of no faith. So it really depends on where the person's at, whether they want to talk, whether they don't want to talk, whether they're religious or whether they're spiritual in a way that's not religious.
We're very active in our church, and the chaplain helps that part of it, that we don't have to try to get her to church. It's 20 stone steps.
It's very good.
Yes.
Keep me busy, busy, busy.
Each person's story is unique and their grief is unique. I think there's no one formula that works for everybody.
People respond on a lot of different levels to touch. Spiritually, emotionally, it's very comforting. A lot of our patients spend a lot of time on their backs for hours and hours a day. Your back develops a lot of tension. Just the touch itself can be very comforting.
Tessie and I have been coming here since September 2014, once a week to visit with patients. I had wanted to do this for several years, and I was hoping it was something that Tessie would enjoy, and she absolutely loves coming to hospice.
At any given time, we're running probably anywhere from 4 to 6 different ongoing support groups or one-time workshops. So the support groups that we run most often are loss specific, and we find that people tend to develop trust and be open to being vulnerable to each other a little bit more quickly when they have that commonality that they're all there for the same loss. Camp Stepping Stones is our 2-day weekend day camp experience. It's for kids as young as 4 through the teenage years. where they've experienced the death of someone close to them. There's really nothing that the best counselor or therapist in the world can do to take away the pain, but we can companion with people and guide them so at least they know what to expect, and also to validate and normalize when they feel like they're going crazy. And we can say to them, you know, you're actually not going crazy. That's what grief looks like and feels like.
It's surprisingly very rewarding and not difficult to be here. Families are just really grateful for the presence of the Chaplan House and the staff here and what they do for them, and it's just nice to be part of that.
I made their day better when you see that their pain is gone and when you see that their suffering is gone, then you feel like you've accomplished what you went out there to do.
Anybody that's ever started working here would tell you that you really can feel like you've made a difference. And you do make a difference in trying to find a way to make somebody's end of life the best quality it can be.
Care dimensions coming in is that our mom is able to stay in her home, that she has been here. We've been in this house for over 50 years, and that she has a good quality of life because of the team that comes in to help her. Things would not be this way if we did not have.
I couldn't do it.
Amen.
I wouldn't have been
Couldn't do
able to do it.
Or would we as a family be able to give that much support? But between the family and Care Dimensions, she's just in a great place and surviving and doing well. And you guys are helping us do that. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, that's from my heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.